Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, Madam Mayor, distinguished guests, everybody else. This medical school has, over the last 10 years, and I speak as a local resident, become a fundamental element in the University of Brighton's commitment to the formation and education of the county's health professionals. Nurses, midwives, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, podiatrists, paramedics, pharmacists, a whole catalogue of intimately involved medical people. The evidence of success is clear. Frequently in most in-demand medical school in the country in terms of the ratio of applications to places, and another outstanding, very recent National Student Survey result, 96% overall satisfaction this year. How do you fiddle it? This, I'm no doubt, reflects the very close working relationship which is already evident between staff and students, and the great sense of community which the students themselves generate. The major advantage, I think, of a smaller medical school, so there, Barts. This is a medical school which combines outstanding innovative teaching, for example, individual family study and the use of new technology, with the best traditional methods, full cadaveric dissection and strong basic science. And also developing an already admirable research base. The school's income and the student numbers have already, as people have already mentioned, grown, particularly in the key areas of national and international importance, such as cancer, cell and developmental biology, imaging, infection, immunology, neuroscience, and pediatrics. So I'm bringing my remarks to a welcome conclusion, but I want to pay particular tribute to John. Actually, I know this question he was asked that he didn't like. I'll tell you. It was, are you expecting to have a baby this year? Which, of course, was highly proper then, but not now. So, I mean, John has really not merely led the school with great distinction, but has also played an important part in the councils of both, I suspect, of Sussex and of the University of Brighton, adding what is described in the notes that were given to me, wisdom, directness and wit. I think we'll omit one or two of those words, but I'll leave you to choose which ones we omit. But I think at the end of the day, leadership is provided from the top and has to be the success of this particular medical school is evidence of that distinguished leadership. There are far too many other people, some of them in this room, to mention, and it's invidious to do so, but allow me to do so. I think key support were the two Vice-Chancellors in post in the early days, that is Professor Sir David Watson for Brighton and Professor Alistair Smith in Sussex. Obviously, as well as the current Vice-Chancellors, one of whom you will hear shortly, the other who is on holiday, which is very typical of Brighton, University of Brighton, of course. I also wanted to mention Stuart, who was the Chief Executive at the time, and again, I said, I am a local resident. The transformation of the very fact of having the medical school develop and this hospital has been remarkable, and I know that Stuart was very much in the early days of the 90s involved in establishing planning and the start-up of that success. And if I may, one final mention. Professor Richard Vincent, formerly of both universities, who I know many of you will know, the Traffic Centre at Sussex and the Postgraduate Medical School at Brighton, and a founding associate dean who probably did more than any other single individual to develop the ideas and the outline planning over many years, partly to keep that dream alive. It was a very difficult thing. Those of us who were outside the system know that this idea of a medical school here was a remarkable one. From the city, we've grown. The medical school has grown across the whole county of Sussex and beyond. How? By partnerships with many trusts, with GP practices, with specialist services and leading consultants, and, as has already been mentioned, the graduates who are now spreading the word across the country and perhaps across the world. I wish you every success in the next 10 years. I'm sure you'll be up to it, and I'm sure you'll succeed. Thank you.